So, something the Lord has had on my mind recently is there is a switch up coming. There is a change of direction coming. And take this word back to the Lord. This word is not for everybody, but you will know if this word is for you. And this is something He's been talking to me about for a while now. And I take this particular route on the main highway home often for work. And the other day, there were these massive signs saying like U-turn bay, like U-turn, like you're going this way and then you go that way. And for some reason I just could not stop staring at these signs. And I knew He was talking to me through this in some way. And over the past couple of weeks He's been building this revelation that your life has maybe for some time now looked like it was going in a particular direction and there was potential to that direction. Maybe this was, your gifts and your talents, or you were kind of, you get on well with this certain group of people, and so you were kind of moving in this way. And nothing necessarily like went wrong, or nothing's bad, super bad has necessarily happened, but He has been opening your mind up to a different path. And this is just from the fact that you have been abiding in Him. And when we abide in the Lord, there's actually so many different paths that the Lord could bless for us, where there's not just one route that could be successful. There are many different routes, and that's because you are multifaceted, you are multidimensional. There's a lot of things that you can do and be good at that sometimes we're not aware of because our life has just been been led, we've just lived our life in a particular way, and that's where we think we belong. But because you have been abiding in the Lord, He's been revealing to you more capacity that you have, and parts of yourself that were maybe buried. You are coming into, I want to say, like a deeper understanding of who you are. And because you've been abiding in the Lord and you've been having revelation over this, He is wanting to put you on the path that is going to get the most positive kickback, in terms of that is going to serve you best for your relationship with Him and your life and your prosperity and everything else. But also He wants to line you up in a way that is going to have the most positive effect for His kingdom, for other people. And yeah, so that is what He's doing right now. And He is opening your mind up to this switch up, this U-turn. And I want to encourage you with this, because sometimes when our life has been going in a particular direction and there's been a comfortability about it, there's been something that's really worked in it, it can almost make us feel guilty or bad for changing things up, especially when we've had people that have been supporting us in the direction that we've gone. And I don't know what your situation is. I don't know where people have been supporting you, whether that is in community or work or whatever that may be. Maybe, you have gone to a different country and people have sponsored you and paid a lot of money towards you being there, and then you're like, oh, God's putting on my heart to go somewhere else. And we can feel bad when we see that things are shifting, and so sometimes we avoid thinking about them because we think, oh my gosh, like I don't want to let that person down, or this is where everyone thought I was going, or they've helped me with this, or I've invested this much money into this thing. And we can kind of close our mind off to the possibility of what God is speaking, because it seems like maybe we don't want to waste what we've done already, or we don't want to let people down. And the Lord wants you to relieve you of this expectation that you have to follow what seems more conventional, what seems more practical, what is going to please people most. And he really wants to encourage you that there is so much capacity in you. There are so many different avenues that you could succeed in, but he wants to get you on the one that is going to make you shine the most. And something that he showed me, and I just knew that it was in relation to this topic, was I was watching a trailer to a documentary, and I forgot the guy's name, but he is an Aboriginal actor in Australia, and he obviously has, come from, a native tribal way of life, very different from, city life, like the concrete jungle around, more Caucasian people. And so they were talking to him and they said, what do you prefer? Because he moved between both in his life, and he was very successful in both regards. And it was so interesting what he said. He said, like, neither, I love both. And it's, they said, which one's easier? And he said, both of them. It's just like drinking coffee, like it's not a problem. And there was something that quickened in my spirit when he was saying this, and I know that it was the Lord emphasizing that this is the capacity of humans. And you don't really hear about that very often. It's quite rare for people to be able to move so effortlessly between two completely different cultures and a way of life. But I felt like he put this on my heart, that this is our capacity, and not to block him, not to block God, not to block the possibility, the revelation that he's trying to show you of what you are made of. And he also wants you to release any guilt, any guilt that you may have around switching up and doing this U-turn in your life. I was actually talking to my mum about this earlier, and we were talking about it in a particular regard. But, when we let people down, or people think we're doing something crazy, and they're like, what the heck? Or maybe, for example, I'm thinking of someone who's sponsored someone for ages and they spent all this money, and then they're like, I gotta go here or something. And you think, oh, why did I spend all that money on you? Why did we set you up? Maybe if you're in a job, they give you free training for years in something, and then you feel that the Lord is like, you're doing a different job now. He wants to release you of that guilt today, and it's not your responsibility to hold their expectations of you. The Lord will figure that out. And even Mum was saying earlier, she's like, even if you let people down, people might talk about it, people might be angry for a bit, but then she's like, people stop caring. They just get back to what they're doing, and life goes on. And I feel that this is really true, and I just want to encourage you with this word today that, when you are living your truth and you are walking in what the Lord has told you to do, you are going to be doing the best thing for other people too. Whether it feels like that at first or not. So, don't be scared to look into the possibility of the switch up in your life. And just know that there's untapped potential within you, that wherever the Lord leads you, you are going to flourish in that life. I don't have my headphones anymore because I left them at home, and I'm just walking down the road to meet the others for a coffee. But something else that came up is, when you don't do this, when you ignore what the Lord is trying to speak to you, where you're willing to move and be malleable and flexible in that way, what it does is it actually calcifies our heart. So, and this is something that happens physically to us, is it hardens your heart. And so calcification is made out of calcium, right? And there's calcium that deposits, and it hardens us. And so we become angry, resentful. Look at this. That's nice. And, well, what's concrete made out of? Concrete is made out of calcium. And you think how concrete becomes just so hard and unmovable, right? And the Lord is saying, you know, He is chipping away at the parts of your heart that have been calcified. But if we don't want any more of this calcification to happen, we have to just be willing to listen to what He's telling us to do and just be open-minded. You know, He gives us wisdom and He steps us through it, but it doesn't need to overwhelm us, one step at a time. But this is what we're trying to avoid, is the calcification of the heart. And it can take a while for Him to chip away and soften our hearts again. So this definitely helps this situation. But anyway, I hope this word has blessed you. Have a good day.